Hey everybody, this is David Wolf with Our Paramotor Nation. Welcome to tonight's pre-show. Hope you're having a fun time chatting with other paramotor enthusiasts watching with you right now. Hey, I just want to take a quick second and just thank everybody who supports the show, whether you're a sponsor, whether you're a Patreon, whether you're doing a super chat during the show. And some people have asked me how to become a Patreon and how to do super chat, so I wanted to just talk about that very briefly. All you need to do is click on the little button down here at the bottom right of the screen. You can go ahead and pick out any dollar amount you want to donate to the show and leave a comment as well. I'll read it on the show for you. If you'd like to become a Patreon, you can go onto the website, ourparamotornation.com, and there's information to fill out there. All right, we're just going to start the show here in a few moments. I talked about the sponsors. Let's hear about them right now.
Welcome to Our Paramotor Nation. Tonight's show is sponsored by PPG, offering a full-service paramotor training experience with 3 on-site instructors and limited class sizes. Florida Flight Sports, year-round training at your truck training headquarters. You can do this. PPG lights make one heck of an impression with countless patterns and colors on your paramotor. Lone Star Paramotor has become one of the most sought-out paramotor schools, offering foot launching and trike training classes and much more. PPG Zone, one stop for everything you want to know about the paramotor scene, where fly-ins are happening, and so much more. Aviator Paramotor is a cornerstone for paramotor training while offering its students some of the top paramotor equipment. Fly PPG Discovered Power Paragliding has helped people from around the world get into our great sport. Wisconsin Flight Sports, they make it affordable and accessible for you to get your paramotor training. Charlie Soap, an all-natural laundry detergent and household cleaner, are like no other. One Up Adventures and ParamotorProps.com, sharing their passion for flight on adventures around the world. Skylab Paramotor SIB, teaching paramotor pilots of all skill levels collapse recovery and advanced maneuvers. Blackhawk Paramotors USA's mission is to produce the safest, most powerful, and most reliable powered paragliding equipment in the world. Paraswag USA, your complete powered paragliding gear source. iFly Indiana provides USPPA certified powered paragliding training on your equipment or on theirs for prices as low as $2,500. Wicked Wings logo can help you have a one-of-a-kind glider with one or multiple colors. Visit the Our Paramotor Nation website. Check out the upcoming shows, the past shows, and all of its sponsors. And now, let's get started with this episode of Our Paramotor Nation.
What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Our Paramotor Nation. Happy Father's Day to you. Matt Minyard's going to be joining us here in just a second. Couple quick announcements. First of all, if you tuned in this past Wednesday night on After Dark, you saw my buddy Dave Ruff, a bit of fond farewell. He's been a part of this Our Paramotor Nation show for the last over a year and a half, and he's done so much. Dave is obviously, as he says, he's a full-time farmer, and now with COVID being over, he's going back to work with the stick bow archery and building bows. He's going to be out visiting me, not visiting me, but he is visiting me in September at the Renaissance Festival here just north of Cincinnati, Ohio. Can't wait to see Dave, but with all this going on, he's so busy, so he's going to take a step back from the show, Our Paramotor Nation, as well as the After Dark show as well. We're not going to take too much time talking about too much more. We're going to do a little drawing later on. My daughter's going to be helping us out from now on with the wheel, so I'll tell you when to start giving us chats. But let's go over and say hi to my buddy John Ripa's here. What's up, Johnny boy?
What's up, guys? Excited about the show tonight. Got my buddy Matt Minyard, who's been taking care of me for 4+ years, and looking forward to this.
And John, as you can see, he's honoring Father's Day today. As you can see right there, he's wearing his daddy's T-shirt. Who's your daddy, Johnny?
David's my daddy.
All right. With that being said, Matt Minyard is laying back, looking good. Matt, are you there, Matt? We see you,
Matt.
We got you.
Because I was inverted, you know.
Same here, buddy.
I think tonight's going to be one of those. Matt, as you can see, is on the boat. He's out with his daddy. Let's see Daddy. Can we see Daddy? Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, hold up. I figured it. Look.
Oh.
This is the fam right here. We're at the houseboat.
Awesome. Happy Father's Day, Mr. Minyard.
Yep, we're here.
So there's a cocktail. I see some cocktails, a couple beers.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on.
Awesome. If you got any questions in the chat, go ahead and post them up there if you do. But we got a ton of questions here for Matt. Where do you want to start, Johnny? You want to start about? Let's talk about what's the big announcement that you made recently in regards to PAP.
So yeah, man, PAP, huh? Matt, talk to us about PAP.
Yeah, so PAP is one of the best there ever was. So PAP Paramotors is from south of Spain, and it basically in Spanish says powered paragliding. So PAP means another way of propulsion with paragliding, and they're one of the leaders of paragliding. And what that means is, if you've ever done a weight shift turn, PAP pioneered the weight shift turn chassis first. Nobody else has ever built one chassis before they have. So they actually own the claim to fame of proper turning and thrust line having paramotors. And they've been around for a long time, since '89. It's longer than me. So, I mean, yeah, PAP's incredible. We're happy to present the newest PAP products for you.
Yeah, so what, awesome. At Bad Apples, you were making a video there talking about some of the new things that were coming out, and you're distributing now, correct?
Yeah, so I distribute PAP and McFly, and I only want to specialize in distributing the best gear there ever was made, which is why I use PAP and McFly. So, yep.
What are some of the what's some of the new gear that you're introducing there? Everything it seemed like was on track. I know you had the factory R on one of them.
Yeah, so we got the factory R's. Those are incredible. Vitterazzi's just totally on top of their game. Like they've never been stronger than they are right now.
Yeah.
And they earned it. They deserve more credit than people give them. Vitterazzi. I mean, we love them.
We loved having Matteo on Matteo was on last week. He was a great guest to have, and we got to tap into a little bit of his mind and the operation, which was awesome.
Man, that guy is my brother, so to tap into his mind is incredible. What a joy if you actually got to meet him.
Yeah.
That guy is a genius. So the point is, Vitterazzi's on top of the game. If you fly or visit any proper paramotor school, they're going to have Vitterazzi products like on tap. Man, but the McFly flies super dialed in and perfect and has a modern material, titanium. And the PAP actually has like some of the best trikes I've ever seen, which are incredible. So that's why PAP paramotors are forefront on my mission right now. PAPs are incredible.
Chris Fenimore wants to know, he says, I hear PAP has a great thrust line, no or little torque steering. Do you want to talk a little bit about that and what makes that possible?
Yeah, I mean, think about this, okay? Every subject you've ever learned in your whole life, my favorite is science. And the reason why is because everything's based on data. So if you fly a PAP or a McFly, for example, the thrust line is correct. So the middle of the propeller hub lines up with the middle of the bolt in the swing arm, which lines up with the middle of the pivot point of the carabiner. So when your thrust line is dialed, your flying experience is perfect. But there's many mainstream brands that advertise having good things and their thrust line is off. Because they have copied the wrong product. They don't know what they're doing. So when you have a company who knows what they're doing with family history, their whole entire family line has been flying, then the product you experience like is perfect. Like the flight that you have is dialed and there's no torque. Like I remember several years ago we used to teach and it was like, be careful when you're on full power because it might twist and you might need some let off. Where now it's like full power, hands up, full power, hands up. So it's just quite the difference when you realize how far we came with technology. And nowadays we have proper thrust line built into every single paramotor, at least every single one that I am familiar with using. So torque and twist is like a joke, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's like a flop disk. It's like, hey, man, you going to save that? Oh, no, I don't have space or I have a floppy disk. Like, it's like when people fly old stuff, you feel bad for them. You literally, like I have a trailer with tons of gear. So I have so much gear. Everywhere I've ever been, I can offer somebody a paramotor. like for free,
Sweet.
every single moment. Bro, take this one, please. Don't wait any longer. So it's a thing of the past, you know. Like if you wanted to talk about torque lines and thrust lines and torque and gear and whatever, I'm literally so familiar with proper gear that it's a thing of the past to discuss like what's so off, you know? Like I already forgot. It's so old to think about that.
You know, a while back, I remember seeing a video of yours where you landed a foot launch and you hooked up to a trike like in a matter of seconds. And one of the questions here comes from I think it was Jim CR.
Jim.
Yeah, he was it was this one here. He was asking, nope, not that one. Doesn't matter. He was asking about what gear you can go from foot launching to trike and trike back to foot launching. Which PAPs?
So I use the PAP and it works fine for that. And I use the MacFly and it also works fine for that. And both manufacturers say that they cannot do that. They say in their textbook, you must move the hang point 1 inch forward and then, or 2 centimeter, and that will accommodate the trike. And then throughout real world testing, you use it back and forth, and that's not true. It doesn't need that. It works fine. It works perfect with no tools either way.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm sure, because we figured it out ourselves. It's so cool.
Just the way you pull brake. Tell me about what's going on with training. I mean, you are all over the place. You are doing so much.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you possibly have time for training? What's your training schedule like right now?
I don't even know. It's 25 hours a day right now. So I'm dedicated. All I do is fly and train and fly and train and fly and train. So training schedule's wide open. We got students booked like crazy, and many more who want to become booked who we haven't even responded to. And that's a good problem to have. So everything's groovy. We got the right people lining up. We're attracting the right people with the correct magnet for the job. So I would say training's incredible. It's summer season where it's very, very hot. And people want to come right now because it's like convenient. And I'm suggesting to them to wait. Like, please just book it in September. You don't know what you're getting into. But yeah, the training's great. The school's pumping out plenty of students every week. And I mean, what a blessing to be here right now. I just can't even begin to explain it in a proper way about the magic that I'm doing. Like, it's literally on another level.
What you're doing is amazing things. And I want to say one of your students is one of my favorite pilots of all time, and that's Wyatt. And Wyatt Parker was on the show just a couple weeks ago. And out of the 110 some shows that we've done, that's probably was one. And I said this to John the next day. I said, that was my favorite show. I had such a good time with Wyatt. What was it like when you see this kid show up with his dad for training, and you're like, yeah, I could try to train this kid? Well, I mean, this had to be some sort of challenge for you because this was your youngest student, no doubt.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, so I met his father, Steve, and we did a tandem intro, and then like months later, Steve signed up for the class for the week course, and then he mentioned, "Can I bring my son?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." You know, he said, I'm going to bring my son. And then he said, I want to pay for my son to take training. And I seriously laughed at him. And I was like, listen, I'm not training a 9-year-old. Like, you're crazy.
It's amazing that a 9-year-old had that interest.
And he was legit interested. Like, it wasn't because his dad said anything. Like, he wanted to. And the kid is so well-mannered. His parents are incredible. Bonnie and Steve are incredible people to raise Wyatt. And Wyatt was well-mannered, and every single time in history he wanted a harness or a wing, even till this moment right now, he has said, hey, Matt, can I use that wing? Hey, Matt, can I use that harness? Like, every single time. So the kid is just, he's an adult. I mean, he's his own person. So I can talk about his parents, but really the experience I had was the father wanted to pay for the kid to learn how to fly. And I said, look, I don't mind him here. He can kite and play and steer a wing and have a harness. But he's not going to fly with y'all. You can forget about it. And I trained him for 9 months. So
wow.
If you know me at all, or if you want to know me from this show, like, I'm serious about it. And we trained for real for 9 months, not just like once upon every week for 9 months. No, it was more of it every day. So I invested everything that I know about paragliding into this kid because I see the future in Wyatt. Because I want to pass my knowledge. What I've learned is intense for what I've learned in 9 years. And the amounts I've traveled to figure it out, like, people here have not figured that out. So to share it with Wyatt was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously the results, like, here we are watching Wyatt fly. The kid's a rock star.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me feel very proud. Like, it's a proud moment. It really is. So I'm not going to lie. Wyatt is a rock star. I'm not claiming my success in my 28 countries traveled and yada, yada, whoever I learned from. It's literally the kid is a genius. And this is the new age thinkers. So, I mean, don't be surprised if you see it happen again.
Well, Matt,
like a 6-year-old from somewhere else.
I said at the beginning of that show, I said that Wyatt is the future face of this sport. So you should not hold back by accepting what you rightfully deserve, which is all the accolades for being his trainer, because he had nothing but the best thing, of course, to say about you, and he just worships you. And it goes to say,
it's a real lifestyle. It's not even a show. It's not a discussion. It's a real passion which we live for flight. So the kid loves it. He's all in. I'm all in. It's a mutual, like, meet and greet,
Yeah.
But it'll happen again. And I was upset when I learned how to fly, as in I wanted to learn everything under the sun, and the amount that I could learn was minuscule. So I had to go far out to Europe and Middle East and Asia and many seasons. I had to figure out how to learn how to fly. So bringing that education back is key. And here we are, like, on an American talk show. Like, this didn't exist when I started flying. So just what we're doing right now is monumental for the sport, for growth, for education, for realizing that you're strapping a big fan on your back. Like, how serious do you want to take yourself? First of all, like, you're a fan flyer with a nylon wing over your head. So just putting it all in perspective and sharing it with a character like Wyatt has been a dream come true. This kid's like the Evel Knievel of paragliding. And I mean it in a successful way, like a bubble. Like no one's ever seen it done on that level till him.
You're building the future. There is a question back here, and this is from Cranky Yankee Paramotor. He says, can we ask Matt if there's any geographic limitations to selling and supporting PAP? Can he support units that have been sold through older existing distribution or dealers?
Yeah, I mean, I can do whatever I want, first of all. So I'm all about flying. So if you want to fly and your stuff broke, please call me. Like, I'll fix it faster than anybody, because I love flying. So
I can concur. I can concur to that. Matt will take care of you,
regardless of man, bro, girl, dude, man, bro, whatever you got,
whatever you identify as.
Doesn't matter what kind. Like, bring it. Call me 337-230-0929. Yeah, hit me up. I'll answer. I'll drop the call on the show.
Well, I will tell you. No, you won't. Don't call right now. Don't call. Call after.
But the monumental point is, like, I love flying. So don't forget, I'm not a salesman who's wearing some collared shirt about one name brand. Like, no, it's about flight. So if you want to fly, I can help, because I've been down the road. I know the frustration. And then what about PAP? Legit, I am the PAP importer, I believe, of the United States, west of the Mississippi River. And east of the Mississippi River is Bobby Ben, the guy who deserves all the credit for my career path, who taught me how to fly in style. Bobby Ben from Fort Myers, my guy, Bobito. So there are two people who represent PAP. Bobby, the one from the beginning. And over 30 years, he's represented PAP. He's the reason we know about PAP in the United States. He's still living in Fort Myers. He's had 4 heart attacks, and he's a legend. And he's body slammed himself learning how to fly, and he still flies paragliders. So Bobby Ben is a force to be reckoned with. You're not going to mess with the Bobito, never. And yeah, that's the proper intro for Bobby.
There you go. So I want to say this, and I'm sure John's going to have say something about this as well. And probably anybody that's bought anything from Matt. Matt's fantastic. There's so many times that I see on chats or I hear from people complaints about not getting proper customer service or getting things taken care of or getting things, questions answered or things shipped out. I bought some headsets from Matt and had some issues with them, and he made sure I was taken care of and got what I needed. Yeah. Johnny's bought a couple things. Johnny, what have you gotten from Matt?
I'll tell you what, I've been through a couple of motors, couple of paramotors, and tons of other stuff. And every time I've called Matt, he's always been there and he's always taking care of me. And he is a pleasure to deal with. And anyone who hasn't dealt with Matt and having a problem with whoever they're dealing with, give Matt a call. I promise you he will take care of you.
Yeah, I literally remember the first phone call from John Ripa, and we spoke for about 1 hour. He had a fresh breeze. He was up in Tennessee, and it was heavy, and he wanted a Parajet Maverick with a Moster. And I was like, listen, buddy, I'm going to get you dialed in. There's no doubt. And that's the kind of love I treat everybody with. So literally, if you have no idea who I am, I'm a passionate flyer who loves to fly. And I take care of people who have the same passion for wanting to fly. So if you're trying to get dialed in with anything, reserve, parachute, helmet, motor, wing, training, life-changing experience. That's what I do every single day, all day.
Geriatric PPG in the chat says, Matt has always done me right. I don't know who Geriatric PPG is, but that's a great compliment to you right there as well. So great.
I mean, it's just real. So one more thing I wanted to speak about is my girl Leah, my girl Fireball,
Fireball.
I put her on the map with the Fireball that night.
Yeah, it's all because of you, buddy. Talk to us about Leah.
Leah and I, Leah's been very persistent, and she wanted to become, the female superstar pilot who she is these days. And we teamed up and we Euro tripped. No one can take that from us. We toured Italy and Spain, France and Italy and like all these places together. And Leah's incredible, and she's super passionate about paragliding.
Matt, there must be some mistake because Leah Catula's in the chat. She put, "Who the hell is this dude? He ain't no real pilot."
That's right. No, I'm a YouTube guy, man. I just got a GoPro. But Leah and I, so Leah she bugged me forever about this FAI license. Like she was going to do something. And I was like, Leah, look, I got an FAI license to represent the whole entire country. And there was like a real duty called, like that's why I got it. But Leah, I don't know why you want an FAI license. Like I'm already top dog in paramotoring to represent the country. What are you going to do? And then Leah decides to become this like FAI chairwoman, something.
Yeah.
And then she appointed me. I'm like high on the list of creating an air show for the United States.
That's unbelievable.
Leah and I have like literally became best friends in the game of flying, and we've taught each other boatloads of information, and our friendship is as deep as it ever gets. And then like we're changing the game for you. If you're watching this, we right now have been working behind the scenes for you to install rules with discipline, install real rating systems that carry some real weight. And we're also working on a slalom team for competitors who want to race, and an acrobatic team for people who want to actually perform aerobatics and be recognized. So for our nation, we're working very hard. Our Paramotor Nation.
Oh, I love it.
We're working with you, buddy.
There's a guy here. Now there's
But for real, Leah and I, it's not like we're just doing YouTubes and hey, click the button,
No.
like our stuff, whatever, hit me up.
You know what?
Buy something. We're really working for you.
You guys don't do much YouTubes, which is so honorable because you guys, I mean, both of you are two of the best people in the sport, let alone the country. And you guys are humble and you're quiet about it. But I will say this: there is someone that just made a comment in the chat, and he says, "Oh, I'm coming for you, Matt."
What?
Guy's name is
we're on a YouTube talk show.
Guy's name is Kyle Mooney. Kyle Mooney. I don't know if you ever met.
Coming.
Says I'm coming for you.
What up, Kyle? What up, bro? You ready?
Nope.
You not ready?
Let the Mr. Robert get in there.
Uh-oh.
So yeah, Kyle Mooney is an incredible guy. He's one of the bros. He's one of the real deal kind of guys.
He is.
Who lives for it.
Yep.
And for inspiration purpose, Kyle's one of the guys that when I was already going to Dubai and doing air shows and properly getting money for doing shows and sponsors and whatever, I wanted to buy one of my wings, like one of my first fast wings. And all of a sudden, you fast forward till today, Kyle's probably way better than I am at acro paragliding, or at least in my mind, like the guy goes hard. So if you think I'm good at it and I think I'm good at it, like I'll never tell you how good I am at it. That's never going to happen. But Kyle is currently a savage. Like the guy is going hard and he's a beast.
Yeah.
So he deserves tons of credit. And for a shorter amount of time than I have flown, the guy's put in his time. He's earned it.
Yeah. Well, it's obvious the three of you, Kyle and Leah, have definitely put in your time, as you just said. And you know,
he's a force to be reckoned with.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You got to recognize like serious talent in the game. And there's a handful of people who bring it, and there's like a boatload of people who I don't think bring anything.
Yeah.
But Kyle's bringing the sauce.
Yeah.
Kyle's my guy.
I gotta say one thing. There's something I was really proud of you because I know you and I have worked together on your foot dragging on the water, and you know, you really showed me how much you've learned from me at Bad Apples when you looked like you were doing figure eights water skiing on the lake, dude. I was so proud of you. You're done.
I watched you go swimming, man, but you didn't have your mask on. Why did you go? When I spearfish, I bring fins and a mask.
Okay.
That's great.
Actually, you know what? All right. I want to take it a little serious here for a second because there was an unfortunate event that did happen at Bad Apples, and our friend Nick LaBeouf did get into an accident. You actually did see it, and you really were able to analyze it very well when you and I were talking at Bad Apples, and I thought it'd be great if you could just kind of talk about what you saw and what could have prevented that, and just educate all of us on that.
Oh, man. All right, so let's talk about the big picture of things. So, first of all, if you're going to fly, you need to be, like, smart and hydrated and super chill and not influenced by whoever's around you. So if that means you're at a fly-in, you need to get your mind right. Don't be trying to show off. For me, like Dave Wolf doing a foot drag.
Okay.
And you know, don't do the Dave Wolf. But moving on. Moving on.
You're so mean, man. What's wrong with you?
Wait, what was the question?
Nick's accident. What happened with Nick's accident in your perspective, and what could have prevented it?
Yeah. Well, okay, Nick spun the paraglider, and that's what he did. So, in my perspective, I watched. I'll try to condense the long story short. I watched a bunch of people go to a fly-in, and then it be windy, and it's not flyable. And then all of a sudden the wind dropped and became flyable. And Nick takes off for flight number 1, goes for it, does a turn. He's flying downwind, so he has a downwind demon effect. If you guys have seen any Jeff Going powered paragliding videos, there's a thing called downwind demon where you start turning and then the turn is not satisfying. Mm-hmm. And you're pulling more toggle, and the turn is not satisfying. And your brain's like, hey, pull more toggle. And that's how you spin the paraglider. Nick, unfortunately, went for a downwind turn, and he spun his paraglider at about 50 feet high.
Mm-hmm.
And when he spun it, that means the side he's turning was not flying anymore. There's no more lift generating from that wing. And the glider fell back and did a stall, and I did a parachute stall, and then he put his hands up, and the glider actually restarted flight at about 15 feet high, and then his body swung into the ground gently, and he broke his pelvis, and he got hurt, and I had to unclip him from his motor and carry him onto the yada, yada, yada. So the point is, people who have 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, I'm pretty sure Nick has 10 years. He learned from Eric Dufour.
19.
Eric Dufour's a legend. #1 guy in the whole nation of teaching.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of like who's taught the most and has respect right now. Eric Dufour's the man.
Yes.
And Eric Dufour taught Nick.
The Godfather.
That doesn't mean because you went to Eric Dufour or Matt Minyard training that you're going to be safe. It means nothing, in fact. And Nick, unfortunately, my guy Nick LaBeouf from New Orleans, he didn't make it, and he spun his glider out, and he biffed. You know, he broke his pelvis.
Yeah.
And I watched it happen. Front row seat. I've had many front row seats for these types of activities. It's nothing strange for me to see anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, complacency kills. So if you're going to be a pilot and you're going to be an average guy, you might want to sharpen your tools up.
All right.
Before you go fly next time.
Let's turn the page here. Let's go to something a very positive thing, and that's Project Airtime. Jim CR120 asked earlier. He says, I know Matt works with Project Airtime, and he'd like to know more about that too. So can you tell us a little bit about the amazing Project Airtime?
Thank you, Jim. So Project Airtime is like the keys to my heartstrings right now, and it's all that I care about way more than my school and my sales of PAP or MacFly or students or anything I've ever done, for example, in my whole entire life. So Project Airtime is me hitting the road with my van and trailer, pulling up to your city with a tandem to offer anybody who cannot fly a tandem flight with me right now for free. Just smile and sit down. And what it means is we're a nonprofit organization that takes everyone flying, and we don't discriminate about any shape or size or reason, mental or physical. We just literally are people who want to share the passion of airtime with other humans like us. So if you have any passion and any love for being free and living carefree and being in the air and experiencing freedom, Project Airtime's got you covered. And it's literally what I've poured my heart and soul into more than anything else that I've ever done. So,
Matt, I want to ask you a question about that because in the last year, I got my tandem exemption. I'm doing tandems on a trike right now. I recently, a big heart for all of us is Resurgence PPG. And as Todd says, if you don't give to Resurgence, maybe make sure, if you can, donate to Project Airtime. And then recently I was able to, I've been sharing that love a lot with a lot of people. Recently I took up a veteran, a pastor, and anybody that wants to fly. I've been taken up. Is there a way for someone, is there something required or so many hours before you or I believe Chris Santa Croce will allow someone to start being a part of Project Airtime?
Yeah, I'm not the gatekeeper of it, so
okay.
Any answer I give you right now is actually a guess.
Okay.
So just know that.
That's fine.
But in my opinion, you have to be a professional pilot, and you have to be a real deal kind of facilitator for the program. So if you've got those two ingredients, you're part of the family.
Awesome. Recently, we saw you and Wyatt doing a little video of ITV wings. Tell us a little bit about ITV wings.
Yeah, right now ITV wings is super strong. ITV has the new Wasabi, which is a bee glider, and it's incredible. It's a wing unlike anything else I've ever had. ITV has the Piper wing, which is a full reflex, which is the strongest reflex wing I've ever had. And ITV is serious wing company right now. They're on it. They're doing big things. So can't say any more positive things about ITV. They're building lightweight, incredible modern paragliders for motoring with full reflex profiles that are 100% safe for everybody to use.
Where
And
are they
their
out of, Matt?
hobby-
Israel? They're out of Israel?
What's that?
They're out of Israel, ITV?
ITV is from France.
France, okay.
ITV is from Annecy in France, the biggest mecca in the world of paragliding. The home base is Annecy, and that's where ITV is from.
All right. A couple comments here in the chat. Starbeck. Scott Starbeck says, hey, Matt, make sure you bring Bowden to EFD again this year. We had a blast last year sampling it at your trailer. I'm sure.
Oh, Bowden.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bring it everywhere. It's like
Bowden. I think Bowden.
Yeah.
Bowden.
Bowden.
I was off on that one.
I'm like, Josh Bowden?
Josh Bowden and Bowden. Bring them both.
Bring Josh Bowden and
I'm
Bowden.
like, bring Josh. Josh brings himself.
Yeah, that's too good of a time right there. I'm like, that's why I was confused. I apologize there. Yeah, Bowden. All right.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That means you're not from the South.
I know.
You just aired yourself out.
I'm a northerner. I'm a Yank. Hey, I want to thank two people here. Chris Fenimore made a $5 chat in the super chat. Says Matt needs to be on OPN every week as a panelist. I don't think that's possible. Matt, we're lucky to have Matt on his
Matt's
busy.
all over the place.
There's no way.
Dude, I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow, boys. I mean, it's that busy. It's crazy.
Yeah. Chris Fenimore.
So good.
Chris, thank you for that donation. Also, Kent Stamey made a $10 donation in the super chat as well. I want to thank both of those guys so much for those donations. And as always, 50% of the donations go right back to Resurgence PPG. Actually, I'll tell you what, any donations made on the show tonight, we're going to actually do that over to Project Airtime. So if you want to make any donations in the super chat, 50% of the proceeds will go directly to Project Airtime tonight.
All I care about right now is Project Airtime. Like, that's my heart and soul, and I mean it. So I'm building my van and my trailer for my nationwide tour, which I'm doing for Project Airtime.
That's
so
awesome, buddy. That is so good of you to do.
Incredible. But I mean, there's nothing I've ever done that propels me to tell everybody who never even asked what I did. And what I mean is like, hey, have you seen my video? I've taken this handicapped guy last week. We were at the beach, and he just showed up by himself. And I took him for a flight, and oh, my God. And then I cried, and then it was incredible. And oh, my. I mean, like, it's that level. So
rewarding.
If you're trying to experience your life on that level, then you can talk to us.
Let's go back to that for a second. So if someone knew someone that they wanted to be a candidate for Project Airtime to go up, how does someone get in touch with you for something like that?
Take my number down. I said it already. 337-230-0929.
John, can you put that in the chat?
Airtime. Put my number everywhere. ProjectAirtime.org.
Awesome.
We're easy to find. Matt Minyard. I mean, come on. It's not hard to find us.
There.
So,
Ripa just put your number in the chat. I want to thank Geriatric PPG, who just also made a $10 donation. And again, 50% of the proceeds going to Project Airtime this evening. So thank you so much.
I'm telling you guys, it's more of an impact than you've ever known. So
I bet.
That's what I want to do, and that's what I'm doing, and that's the reason why I'm doing it. So
awesome. Hey, if you are in the chat right now, just say hi to Addison. She's putting your names in the wheel right now. We'll give a prize away. I don't want to keep Matt too much because he's with his family right now. I'm not even going to ask him to stay for the after show because I want him to enjoy this last few minutes of Father's Day because he's with his dad as well. I wanted to ask you this. With COVID now starting to settle down, what kind of effects did COVID play on purchases and warranty issues?
Yeah, for me, you're asking me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, it was like a big boom. In my opinion, the world of people experiencing COVID and COVID and stimulus money and all that, and people having time off, people prioritized. For the first time, people prioritized their time. Mm-hmm. They realized, okay, right now I have time, and I want to do this thing that I want to do. So right now I'm going to do it. There's no more time to waste. So for me, COVID was a blessing, and I remember I like closed my shop for probably 2 months, and I literally let 0 people inside. People wanted to get motors, and I would bring the box outside and carry it into the back of their truck, and I would like not even high five them anymore, and it was awkward, and I was terrified. I thought I was gonna die and like whatever about COVID, and then I realized I was like, you know what? There's no big deal. Like, I'm just gonna tell everyone that I have COVID, and if they want to train nearby, then they can. Then they can come over. And we trained anyways, and we sold tons of gear, and I had the greatest people sign up for my school to learn how to fly during COVID, and we rejoiced in freedom during the moment of COVID. Like, we literally had a ball. So, like, we were in high spirits, and that's how I roll. So we literally took 0 days off. We just tried to keep people outside of the shop because we were scared of like contaminating the air or something, which we didn't know about. We didn't know what to do.
No, it doesn't seem like it slowed the paramotor community down very much at all. I want to say,
no, if anything, it thrived. It shook the coals of the fire. I mean, we stoked the fire with COVID.
Yeah,
it was great.
There's a lot of people showing up in the chat right now. I see Wyatt's mom is in the chat. I see my boy Predator Paramotor. Your boy. There you go.
That's
Ronnie,
a sketchy
Matt,
guy, man. Chris Holbert. Predator.
What is so funny?
He's not as sketchy as you, Dave.
No, I love Frontline with Chris. Let me tell you something. Chris just, I want to say, my daughter's next to me, but I'm going to say this anyway. He kind of molests my glider up in the air. He just flies rings around me. It's so much fun to fly with Chris. He's a blast.
Once you know Predator, he's a guy from Ohio. He's got Predator Paramotor. He's a good fellow. But this guy is called Predator because he'll race you on a motorcycle, like 9 laps out of 10 in second place. And on the last lap, he'll pass you at the last turn. And he'll win right at the end. So don't be fooled with this guy. He's serious.
Matt, you are on a lot of teams, but are you on Team Skybrap? Are you Team Skybrap?
Predator sent me the certificate. I'm a Skybrap.
Really? Wow. Team Skybrap in the house. That's awesome.
I got it laminated in the shower. I mean, it's for real.
In the shower?
Wait, for real.
You stared at it while you're washing?
For sure.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. What else? What about and we'll wrap it up here quickly so you can get back to family, but what other competitions, anything exciting coming up in Matt Minyard's world?
Yeah, Matt Minyard world legit is pretty incredible right now. So I'm training, I'm healthy, I'm teaching, I'm doing Project Airtime. We're doing sales like crazy. Everything's on fire. So we're happy to serve you if you want to fly in style. And if you already fly and have a good kit and you're super dialed and your gear and wing and helmet and everything's all pro, and you just want to be better, I am doing advanced training for people who want slalom and acro and freestyle and just straight up Cindy. And it's not willy-nilly Cindy. Like, if you're just trying to do your first barrel roll, like, I'm not your guy. But if you already fly well and think that you're doing big things, then if you want to be refined and you want to have video reference and, like, play back from somebody who knows what to look for, then that's what I do.
Okay.
So I video my students and friends, and we're forming a USA racing team right now. We're doing a slalom training in 5 days in Florida with Leah. Awesome. So Leah and I, Leah Fireball, and probably John Ripa, since he's in Florida.
Is John on the?
I'm coming.
John's on the team. Congratulations, John! I didn't know you made the team. You never told me about that.
And my boy Kyle Mooney.
Yeah.
And Chris Holbert, Predator.
Wow.
And Ryan with Texas Paramotor Training, and all these heavy hitters who are my right now A-list celebrities of the game
Yeah.
are my best friends, are my dear friends, and we're all united to educate each other to be better.
Now,
So we're all linked up to help each other out to push the sport to a higher level, and that's what we're up to. So
you just said an important
That's
word
us.
there. You just said educate, and you made me think of this, thinking about that, and Leah at the same time. John, myself, Dave Ruff, we did a SIV with Andy. Leah was helping with that as well. How often do you think people should be doing an SIV course?
I'm going to answer with a generic answer, and that generic answer is Raul Rodriguez is the grandfather, godfather of Acro. His father, Papa Felix, is the godfather of Acro. But Raul Rodriguez invented every single acrobatic trick you've ever heard of and dreamed of doing. And Raul says that every pilot should do an SIV within 6 months. And I respect that. But me, I disagree with Raul, and that doesn't mean I'm heavy rooted in my thought. I just don't actually think people need to do SIV, because the people who I see doing SIV, like, literally don't throw down and don't stall and spin. So, like, I don't understand the point why they want to do that to themselves. But Raul says that everyone should do it, and I would bow down to the master. So I would say everyone should do it, and if there's a good place, which includes a 1-day briefing before you do it, and a professional like place, then I would go there. And I have been blessed to meet Chris Anacroce, so he's my teacher, mentor, guide, best friend, like all the above of paragliding. The guy is incredible, and he's taught me tons of stuff in the 3 years we've been like best friends on that level. So Chris did my SIV for me, and it was incredible, but I'm not sure he offers it for many people. So I don't think he's your main resource.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this chat and trying to book yourself, of course, there's SIVclinic.com, Brad Ganuccio, he's in Utah. There's Skylab SIV in Florida with Andy Fuller. And then beyond those two guys, I don't actually know of anybody in the United States who does it. So
I think there's one out in California as well that Andy's been out to as well, and I don't remember who that was.
well, I know Max Marion with Torrey Pine and all
Yep.
that. Max is incredible. He's a good friend. Since the beginning of times for me throwing down, that guy's been 10 times my skill level since I met him. And he does SIV, and he does it proper. But I don't know how many he wants to do and all that. So anyway, the point of the subject matter is I think you can learn a whole lot about how to fly hard with your best friend and with your friends and in your hometown, and with a radio and a good teacher. And call me if you want, and call John Ripa, and these guys will dial you in. Like, these guys live for it. So take advantage of us, please.
Thank you, Matt. I want to thanks. Hot Buttered Steve made a $10 donation in the super chat. So in addition to these, and we just got another one, right? Thank you, Hot Buttered Steve. Really appreciate that. And then Steve Packard just came in with a $20 donation. So far we had $55. Steve, thank you so much for that $20 donation. Really appreciate it. So far we had $55 in the super chat. Half the proceeds going tonight to Project Airtime. But there was a question earlier. And
thank you.
That is
good.
Our pleasure and their pleasure. Thank you. And then if someone wants to make a direct, thank you. It was Scott Tidwell. Scott Tidwell donated $20, but it did not show. Tell Matt I talked to him this morning about McFly. Scott Tidwell. So thank you, Scott, as well. All right.
Yeah, what up, Scott?
There you go. So if someone wants to make a direct donation directly to Project Airtime website.
Honestly, I would be guessing from here on out. So
Okay.
I'll continue guessing. ProjectAirtime.org or Facebook or
I
some
sent
amount
the
of
link
Google
in the chat.
searching.
I'll do it again.
Yeah.
Thank you, John.
Literally, like, if it's in your heart to donate to Project Airtime, I think if you visit their website, you can figure it out. I literally perform the flights. I care the most about flying, and I don't care about the business, and I don't care about donations, and I don't like literally at all drum up money and like try to get money, and I literally focus on smiling all day and flying. So
It's awesome, Matt.
it just lines up because I do my job. So
There you go.
Project.org, .club, .facebook. I don't know.
John got it in there. He got it in there.
Plug it in. There are
ProjectAirtime.org, Matt.
Linda Anderson with the $5 donation as well. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm rocking with
Matt. You are.
We're making moves, bro. It's not to be confused.
You're always positive. You're always helpful. You're always so educational, and you're always so humble. And you're an amazing, amazing pilot. And we're so blessed to have you here tonight. So thank you so much for being with us.
Literally, like I've been blessed to meet Chris Santacroce and hang out with him and teach with him and do everything under the sun with this guy. He's my idol of paragliding, and he's kind of washed up. Dude's kind of over it. He's done his jam. I say he's washed up, right? What is his statement? The guy's still on it.
He's great.
Being loved every single day he's on it. But he's so busy, you can never imagine the level this guy's at.
Yeah.
It's not possible.
I know. I was very fortunate last year or the year before when I went up to Michigan. I got to spend about an hour and a half in a car just driving to fly my PPG and then back to the airfield just to pick his brains and have him trapped to myself with Mike Cotter. So that's the only way you can get him. You got to trap the man. He's that good. What's that?
I think I inhaled a bug, just for the record. But I met Chris, and Chris turned me on to Project Airtime, and I watched them literally do it. And like, y'all, there's nothing that I've ever seen that actually left an impact like that. So years down the road, I found myself. Sorry, I'm choking on.
That's okay. It's good protein right there. Louisiana protein.
Not much, but it's some, you know. But anyway, the point of the story is I'm always working and I'm always trying to do big things. So right now, the big thing to do is share the magic of flight with other people. So the talk shows are incredible. This show's incredible. John Ripp is incredible. Kyle Mooney's incredible. Leah, Chris, Superfly, Chris Holbert, Ryan Glauco with Texas Paramotor with David Wolf. He's pointing to himself on time. Dave's incredible. So what I'm saying is, like, obviously, whoever right now, check your calendar, is on it. These people you need to thank. You need to send them a text right now. Hey, I love you, bro. Thank you. Like, you inspired me to live a better life because you fly and I want to be like you. And if we're not doing that to each other as a community, like, what are we even doing? So my purpose is Project Airtime right now. It's a temporary move, and that's what I'm up to, and I'm cool with it, and I'm fine with it, and it's a fit, and that's what I'm up to. It's a duty, you know? Duty calls. That's what I'm doing.
Matt, I'm gonna let you go. We're not gonna ask Matt to stay in the after show because he's choking, and I want him to have a time with his family.
I ate one bug. It's here.
we are gonna spin the wheel.
I inhaled a bug. If you rewind this, you can see me.
I'm gonna bring up the screen. Hang tight for 1 second. Let me bring up the screen. I'll give you a choice. Whoever wins, you can reach out to me. I got a bunch of T-shirts here from our sponsors. And we'll go ahead and let you choose what you want. I got to figure out how to get my screen up here. Hold on 1 second. Oh, man. Let's see here. Let's get the wheel. I know she got it here for us. There it is. All right, here comes the prize wheel. And maybe not. Uh-oh, it didn't work. All right, let's go to this here. All right, we're going to do it this way, guys. Oh, technical difficulties. All right, we're going to do it this way. All right, here's the prize wheel. We're going to do it the old-fashioned way. You can see here. So if you win, send me a PM and let me know. Here comes the wheel. We're going to spin it. It's a spinning. Matt's still choking. All right, let's see who it says here.
I know. My bug is terrible.
Kobe Mooney? No. Chuck Johnson? No. Maybe. Brian Simmons? And it's Brian Simmons. All right. Congratulations, Brian
Correct, congrats.
Simmons. So, Brian, if you want to let's turn this guy around here. If you want to go ahead and send me your information, just send me a private message, or you can email me at davidwolf51. Oh, there goes the camera. david51@gmail.com. You can do that as well. All right. We'll do an after show. John and I will be there. Matt, if you want to stick around, you can. If not, you want to get to your family, that is totally understandable as well.
Yeah.
But get some water.
I'm gonna
or another beer.
Boys.
All right.
Oh, I ate a bug. I don't know what I'm gonna do about it, but I ate one bug. First bug I've ever eaten.
So, Matt, one last thing, too. One last question. If people want to follow you, Instagram, what's the best way to follow you and see where you're at and what competitions you and everybody else are doing?
Yeah, paramotorinlouisiana.com. Mattay Spice, Mattai Spice is the Instagram. Matt Minyard, you spell my name.
Yeah.
Kind of easy to find in the game. So.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
There you go. All right, guys. We're going to go to the after show. I'm going to put the screen up with the Zoom ID information, so if you want to jump in and say hi to a couple people, you can. Matt, thanks again, buddy. Appreciate you always.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, guys. We will see you next week.
Thanks, everyone.